It's not easy to know where to begin telling the story of drum experience because it's jammed top to bottom with incredible features. But what could be a better starting point than the stunning dynamics of the drums? Every drum has a level of dynamics that overshoots everything you might have heard. For instance, this particular snare has been recorded with 11 top-tier microphones to capture all the different acoustic elements of the drum, venue, and also how it's picked up by the microphones of all the other drums of the drum kit. This means the snare can be played through the kick drum's microphone, the close snare, both top and bottom microphones, all the tom microphones, overhead microphones, room microphones, and faraway hall microphone. The microphones can be played all together or mixed individually after your own taste. This is a source of opportunities for creating a huge variety of sounds, just like in a real drum studio. Another important concept in drum experience is the mixer in the bottom of the screen. These are the buses. It's very easy to route one drum to one bus, and sometimes that is all that's needed. But drum experience has gone all the way and presents you with a new standard in flexibility. If you can think it, you can do it. Route each drum to a different bus, or gather groups of drums on a bus, or even route bus to bus for the ultimate versatility. Route some microphones of a drum to one bus and other microphones to another. Even route the same drum to multiple buses. Having tried this workflow, everything else will feel like running a marathon in lead boots. The insert effects in drum experience will surpass everything you've ever heard. They are just insanely great sounding workhorses, which can shape the sound to fit your artistic vision. They can be added to any bus in any order. The effect chain can even be rearranged. Up to 5 effects per bus and a total of 32 buses gives 160 concurrent effects. Bonafide Effect Series, which is state-of-the-art, has been integrated into drum experience. At the same time as they sound astounding, their CPU consumption is remarkably low, so there is no need to be scared of putting them to use. The Bonafide Effect series has their own demonstration movies, so we won't look at them in depth here. The Transient Shaper is an effect especially made for drum experience. It is particularly well suited to drum mixing and can be a lifesaver. The transient in drum experience can accomplish results which have previously been considered an impossibility. The unique event-based algorithm can handle every case perfectly, no matter the speed of the drum roll or the volume of tiny ghost notes. Even heavily reverberated sounds can be shaped flawlessly every time. You can get that sought-after extra punch by increasing the attack, or make a perfect, snappy, fat kick drum by lowering the sustain ringing. The quality is just amazing. It also, just as the compressor, has a built-in output ceiling unit with either a hard or soft saturation clipper or a brick wall limiter. And one more thing, the Trans EQ. This fantastic innovation adds equalization to the precious transient milliseconds. This will bring perfection to the characteristics of the transients. After hearing these drums in action, I think you will agree that they sound like nothing you have ever heard before. One reason for their authentic, organic, and dynamic sound is the sheer size of the drums. The predecessors have often given you whole drum kits smaller than a single drum in drum experience. For example, this drum is more than 500 megabytes in size, which is needed to realize the full potential of a sampled drum. A complete drum kit can easily surpass 3 gigabytes of memory, which in this day and age is not a problem with computers often coming equipped with 8 gigabytes or more. Of course, the drums can be downscaled to work well on most computers. The large sizes of the Drum Experience drum kits might seem intimidating, and some might picture themselves waiting for minutes when they load drums, but as with every other aspect of Drum Experience, nothing has been left to chance. The streamlined architecture gives exceptionally short loading times. For example, this 500 megabyte drum is loaded in just a few seconds, even without an SSD drive. Caching is another way of loading the drums. It allows you to stream the samples on demand from the hard drive and only store the samples which have been played in memory. This way, you can use enormous drum setups, often without using more than a few hundred megabytes. One pitfall that Drum Experience solves with elegance is the hard drive response time, which can vary depending on other hard drive activities. An annoying nuisance for musicians have been glitches and artifacts when using this kind of technology, but these have all been removed. How? By utilizing the superior power of multiple threads of processing. In Drum Experience, every drum has a pitch control. This might not seem like a big deal, but wait until you hear it. The pitch can raise or lower the tone of the drum and still sound like a drum. Mission accomplished. The unique Preserve Attack mode retains the original punchiness of the drum, especially when lowering the tone. Each drum also has an envelope, which is a real power tool. Reshape the drums with unprecedented precision with 24 points in a 10-second time scale. Craft the transient or tame the sustain, or let your imagination run wild and discover its amazing possibilities. One useful example could be to let the envelope only work on MIDI note off events. One way to use this could be to choke an open hi-hat at the exact time you choose. Is that all? No way. How about this? Each microphone has its own envelope. One way to show you the potential of this system could be by listening to this example. This particular snare was recorded in Salsta Castle, which has tremendous acoustics. The way it was recorded gives it a completely natural reverberation. With the envelope, you can take control of it and use it in 1,000 ways. Here, we cut the tail of all microphones but the faraway hall microphone. How about that? The possibilities are simply endless. Other features are volume curve. Lets you control the volume of different velocity layers of the drum. For instance, to give the low ghost notes a boost in the mix. Mapping. The mapping is very easy to use. Press the Learn button, then hit a pad on your eDrums kit or a key on the MIDI keyboard. Save and load presets for your favorite drum. This makes it highly compatible with all eDrums on the market. CC controllers let you control hi-hat openness, among other uses. Each drum has its own microphone setup, adjust gain, phase reverse, and time shift for each individual microphone. Stick to reality mode. In reality, the attack of the really fast hits is more smooth than single hits. With this feature enabled, it makes speedy drum rolls sound ultra-realistic. Window-based interface for maximum control of the workflow. Load up to 30 drums in one session and arrange, move, replace them at will. Use your own samples in Drum Experience. Either browse and preview the samples or simply drag and drop them into any slot. Use all of Drum Experience effects and other features to bring out the best of them. This opens up just about any door. Drum Experience comes with its own library of enhancement sounds. Let's add a heavy sub-kick to this for the modern triggered rock sound. Map it to the same key as the kick. Now let's invite a tambourine to the party. Map it to the same key as the snare. Why not pitch and add some reverb to it? Well, as you can see, it's very useful and very easy to use. Now let's talk some physics. When a drum, for instance a ride, is hit repeatedly, the result is not two overlapping sounds, but a union of vibrations. This is a physical subject that could be discussed in great length, but hopefully you'll get the gist. Drum Experience carefully emulates this process, and each drum has its own characteristics and unique way of emulating how hits affect other hits, both across different articulations and within the same. This is the reason the drums sound just as real as if you had a real drummer playing them in a studio. As I said in the beginning of this video, there is a lot of ground to cover. Give it a chance and try it for yourself, and discover all the features which did not make it into this presentation. If you try it, you'll surely not miss feature number 1, the great sound.